to join me in a place where I spend basically 99.9% of my time of owning the RS4 at a station to get fuel. So as you might be able to tell by the title of this video, today we're going to be driving the RS4 properly. I have all my basically all my outside equipment with me today. We're going to go drive. But first things, the Big Tasty is out. The Big Tasty, you're like, what the hell's a Big Tasty thing? The best burger ever at McDonald's in the UK. I don't know if it's anywhere else. I think it's in Europe. I don't know if it's in America. Anyway, let's go. Currently back at the flat, and the reason is I had to pop back because I realised the video was private and it was supposed to be scheduled for today. So I came back and scheduled the video, ate food, watched a bit of YouTube, as you do, and now we're going to go out and do the drive thing, like I said we were going to do. I found a cool road. Fingers crossed, there aren't that many cars on it. Now, I could have chosen a better day to do this because it's still really, really wet, but quattro. All-wheel drive. So we are on the A4091, which is basically, well, it's not a very busy road, as you can see. It's kind of clear for the most part, which is good news because I can then do proper stuff like slowing down and speeding up, and as you want to see me do with the RS4. Anyway, I've got lots of cameras to set up, so I'm going to do that now. Okay, don't know how well this is going to turn out, but hopefully pretty well. It is 3:30, which means I have about half an hour of light left. Well, I say half an hour, probably like an hour total light left. So hopefully we can get this done. But what I've actually got is something that's going to help me record like this view. This is a Google Glass. You may remember one of these. I can record 10-second clips. Amazing. Well, I can actually record as long as I want. But we're going to use this to record some of the like you get the idea. So we are off. This, my friends, is my Audi RS4. Now, I have had this for a little while, but I have not done a proper drive video yet, and now is the time to do so. So this is a road I have found. I found it on Google Maps, and I just reminded my ISO. This is the first proper drive in this car, and I wanted to give you kind of my thoughts on it, that I've been driving it so far, and how much I like it, what I dislike, that kind of stuff. And I'm going to give you updates on this as I go through the ownership. But the BMW, I fell out with it, fell in love with it, fell out with it, fell in love with it. And the first thing I've got to say about this car, I absolutely love now that I've got this new exhaust. Now, it's a little bit loud here, but if we were on a motorway, say 6th gear, just cruising, absolute silence until, there you go, put your foot out of it. Again, I'm not accelerating very fast because I'm in 6th gear, for example, but you get the idea. I need to bring Waze up just in case. If you don't know what Waze is, it's not a sponsor by the way, it's just like maps basically, but I can tell where the cameras are. That's really useful. Not that we're going to be breaking any speed limits, are we? No, no. This thing has very quickly become, well, easily my favourite car that I have ever actually driven. I drove the Audi R8 V10, and again, that wasn't my own car, so I can't really say I've driven it properly. I drove it around basically on the autobahn for a little bit and then off. Whereas this is my car. This is where I can drag it around because I'm getting used to it. I take a while to get used to cars, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys also take a while to get used to cars. But this thing, I picked up pretty damn quickly. Again, it's probably because it's my third car, technically fourth, but the fucker scammed me. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. Just search scammed BlackPanthaa and it'll probably come up. But generally, this is my third car. Now, I did say that I plan on removing this from my collection at some point in the future, and that is true, and the reason for that is, again, I am using this as like a stepping stone. I'm using cars as stepping stones to get to the car that I want, which may possibly end up being the R34 GTR. Cars, say, depreciate, yes, we all know this, but I'm willing to accept the small amount of depreciation that this thing's going to have because of the fact that, well, it's very old and it's just stuck around the same price for a very long time. If it does go down, whatever. Now again, I have removed the exhaust, put a modified exhaust on, but I can easily revert back to the old exhaust if and when I wish to. But right now, I think, honestly, the people that would buy this car, if any of you guys end up buying this car, you'll fucking want this exhaust, because it's a million times better. I don't even care. You can have a balance of quiet driving, and then you can have a balance of putting your foot down as well, which is also pretty awesome. Ended up in some bloody town, so the road wasn't very long. I'll take that, but basically, no, they're gonna let me through. Thank you very much. Basically, it is a very close road to me. It was actually only like 20 minutes away from me, so that's good because I now know of a useful road that I can use. But anyway, back onto the point of the car. One of my gripes with this car is that it is basically a souped up Audi A4. Now, that's cool if you like sleepers and you want to be, bloody hell, that's a massive pothole, and you want to kind of be like blend in, but I don't want to blend in. I want to have a car that stands out a little bit, something that's different, something that people don't normally use. And this doesn't do it for me. With the exhaust, it obviously improved more so because this thing makes a lot of noise, but still to the general person, they just think I'm a loud, obnoxious, annoying twat with a loud exhaust. It's not that loud, but you get the idea. Pretty much like having a performance version of a Vauxhall Corsa. Well, it's not, but it's an Audi A4. And it's not the most exciting thing to look at, okay? Anyway, but with that aside, the actual performance of this car, the actual way this thing drives, holy shit, this is fucking incredible. I'll swear a lot in this video because that's the only way I can describe this car. It's immense. Anyone that gets in this car and gets in it with me has pretty much said that, okay, I went in expecting it to be quick, but I didn't expect to come out thinking that I've just pretty much been in a supercar. That, honestly, this feels like a supercar. Because basically, they took a supercar engine and put it in this car. Now, obviously, if you match it against an R8, it's not really going to beat it. But the idea is, they've taken the R8 engine, they've put it in this, and oh my god, does it freaking make it insane. Oh, it's too easy to go quick. It's too easy. Now, it's a V8. It doesn't run very well with fuel. It takes a very short amount of time to basically lose your fuel. And this isn't helped by the fact that if you put your foot down, all of a sudden 60, 70, hey, bleep that out, we're not allowed to say that, but you get the idea. It is literally a supercar with 4 doors, okay, and I love that. But the fuel economy, I'm not very, very happy with. It is awful. It is awful. I miss the BMW a hell of a lot because that's the most economical car I've driven and owned anyway. The BMW that I drove in Germany was actually technically the most economical, but hell to the no am I buying one of those. I'm liking these roads here. They're kind of like got this cool kink in the middle of it here. And again, at each end, there's basically a roundabout. So at the end of it, I can turn around, come back again, and there's parts halfway for me to stop. I found a pretty much perfect road to actually record videos on. I actually love it. A lot of people asking, why are you planning what's next already? You haven't owned the car for that long. I bought it in December, it is January. You are correct, I have not owned it for a very long time at all. I bought it like at the beginning of January, I think it was. But anyway, planning ahead is good for the reason that obviously, if I went balls out with this car, woo! Jesus! If I went balls out with this car, well, I'd struggle to be able to turn back on going balls out with it because obviously I can't really. Selling a modified car in the UK is very difficult, okay? And I think anywhere it makes it difficult because obviously you have to state that it's been modified, and obviously it costs a hell of a lot more to insure once it has been modified. But that's why I'm limited on mods that I can do and I want to do on this car. But at the same time, I do want to make it a bit more exciting because when I got the car, it wasn't massively exciting. The problem with this car, and basically every car ever, is that it tries to be very quiet and subtle. This I'd say more so because again, it doesn't really change anything visually, period. The only way you can tell that this is an RS4 is by checking the badge. Even petrol heads have to check the badges. Like, if you're an extreme petrol head, most of the time you'll have to make sure and double check that the badge actually says RS4 to make sure that it is the RS4 and they've just whacked an exhaust on it to try and fool you. constant mirror checks to make sure that... Oh my god! Here we go, here we go, here we go! It's too quick! It's way too quick. I should not be allowed to drive this, basically. And for those that are going to comment, oh, don't comment, he's shorts gamer, I'm not a massive tit and I know my limits. And I know that for a fact that if people were ahead of me, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that unless I know it's safe to do so. And I think that's the thing you've got to think of. Not just like, a lot of people like to drive their fast cars fast, and that's just why you buy a fast car, because you want to experience it. There is pretty much nothing better than speed, and when you're controlling that speed, that makes it even better, if that's even possible. You know, it's absolutely insane. So as long as you stick within your limits, and obviously you're always trying to push the limits with other things and the whatever, but I think with you know, going fast, you've got to make an exception of the fact that you can go push past your limit, but don't then endanger other people because of that. And I think it's fine at that point. You know, that's how the Germans do it. You know, as long as you are in control and you know what you're doing, go with it, my friend. Okay, going on to the V8. Do I love V8s now? Fucking yes, do I love V8s. I mean, I loved them before, but obviously I never drove a V8 car. And now I'm driving a V8 car, and I fucking love it. Will my next car be a V8? I said I want the RCF, so yes. So very clearly, the V8 is king for me at the moment. But I kind of love the sound of a straight or V6 at the same time. There's something about those. But you can't get the RC350 in the UK, so that pretty much just suggests to me that I need to get the RCF. You know, there's no other option, basically. This thing has been a massive experience. The all-wheel drive, don't even get me started on that. It basically completes the package. It completes the package. You have a stupid amount of horsepower, stupid engine, stupid everything, and then you slap all-wheel drive on it to make it even more stupid. It's perfect. All-wheel drive definitely changes the game, like in the fact that I can push this thing throttle round a corner, because normally I'd be worried, because I was driving a BMW before, and everybody knows BMWs just slip and slide everywhere as soon as you put your foot down even slightly. No matter if it has like 10 fucking horsepower, that thing will slide everywhere. But this, if I put my foot down, well, not completely, but if I accelerate through a corner, I will not have any issues at all, literally. And a lot of people will then say, well, it understeers. I haven't had that issue of understeering because I've never had to reach the point of understeering. If you have to reach the point of understeering on public roads in the UK or anywhere else in the world on public roads, then you very fucking clearly should not be on the road, completely honest, right? In this car anyway, because there may be some cars that understeer as soon as you do this. But I have not had the issues of this car understeering because I'm not stupid. I know my limits, and I know the fact that, well, there's a certain point as well. There's not just your limits, there's the limits of fucking common sense. And if you go past those, then obviously, yes, you're going to run into issues with any car you actually drive. We're back in the town again. But my friends, I adore this car. I really do. Like, I think this is the best choice that I made. Like, I had the choice of, for the same similar price range, you could get a BMW M3 E92, or you could have got the AMG C63, or you could have got this. And from what I would say, the M3 would be the more flashy car, the showy car. You saw an M3, you heard an M3, you would know it's an M3. Like, the M badge is just much more wow, in my opinion. The RS badge holds value, yes, but you'd have to, like, a normal person wouldn't see it as much. Like, you'd have less people noticing that it is an Rs4 than you would a BMW M3, if that makes sense. But the AMG, I would fucking love. Like, I would love to try all those cars, but in the end, for me, and for the conditions I'm in, and for the experience I wanted to figure and, like, learn, this was the best car for me, because of the all-wheel drive, because of the V8, and because of the fact that I now know for a fact that I don't 100% want performance, because this thing is definitely, I would say, in my personal opinion, because again, as I said, my situation, this is the best of the performers in that category, for me, in the weather and such. And I've come to the realization that I want a balance of both. I want it to look good, and I also want it to perform good. I am happy to sacrifice a bit of performance for a little bit of better looks at the same time. But that's just me. And again, if I had two cars, then I can do the complete opposite ends of the spectrum, and that's definitely me. Which I guess leads on to the point of, that's probably why people buy Range Rovers. Not that they look that good, but you know, you get the idea now. I guess that's why people buy Range Rovers. But at the same time, as I said, when it comes to it, don't you dare change on me. When it comes to it, I will eventually buy a stupid car, which should probably be the RCF, and then something a bit more practical at the same time to basically have both ends of the spectrum. So like a little hatch or something. And this video is probably going to be quite long after looking at the time on the camera, because my camera is actually in fact upside down, so I can't read it properly for the majority of the time. But yeah, my friends, this has been the drive of the RS4 and kind of my early thoughts on it and experiences with it. And I've got to say, I made the best choice in my opinion, just for the sheer experience factor. But I don't think it's a keeper, if that makes sense. Be sure, my friends, to leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and what I'm going to do to finish it off is do one final launch. Not launch, because again, if you launch it, the drivetrain is going to mess with the drivetrain. I don't want to fuck my drivetrain up, that's for fucking damn sure. What I want to do is put a little bit on the clutch, you know? That's alright. Alright. Peace.